Welcome to the first episode of Why Believe the Lie. Okay, today's first episode is going to be called Two Roads to Conspiracy. Two Roads to Conspiracy. And what I mean by that, and before I get into that, I will detail what this lecture shall encompass. Now, I'm not able to go live yet because I'm working on verifications on the new YouTube account, and maybe I'll try working with a couple other streaming providers, but I feel like in the moment it's a lot easier to keep everything concise and together. Today's goals on Why Believe the Lie. I want to remove the disillusionment of the Republican and Democratic Party. I want to showcase the sleight of hand that was the repealing of Roe v. Wade 2022. And I want to acknowledge the direction that our entertainment industry and foreign relations is heading. Okay? Under our soon-to-be president, currently president-elect, Donald Trump. So first, I'll quickly explain the title, Two Roads to Conspiracy. I came up with this theory a few weeks ago, a month ago. To be a conspiracy theorist only requires two things. Okay? However deep you go into conspiracy, however valid you believe conspiracy to be, however much you let it dictate your social revolving and your spirit and your enjoyment of life, that's a case-by-case, a subjective experience. But to be a conspiracist in 2025, December 30th, 2024, you need to say yes to one of the two questions. You don't need to say yes to both, but you need to say yes to one of two things. The first question you have to say, yes or no, does the American U.S. government lie to the people? Yes or no? The second question you have to ask yourself, and if either answer is yes, then it means you're a conspiracy theorist. Does the government lie to you? Yes or no? And is there a creator that is the God of the universe? Those are the two questions that will deem whether you're a conspiracy theorist or not. If you say yes to either one of them, you are a level 1 conspiracy theorist. If you say yes to both, and a lot of people that go down the routes and they go down the rabbit holes and they go too far in some direction, I'm not advising you, don't go looking, okay? Because it's a slow revealing act. The truth is a slow revealing act. If you learn too much truth before you're ready for truth, your spirit will be paralyzed. You'll be depressed. You'll be so confused, and you will, instead of taking one step forward into the light, you'll take 10 steps back into the darkness. Okay? I'm not selling you anything. I'm not telling you to go do. I'm showing you what it is that I'm saying, and I'm going to show you. But I'm telling you, I will tell you, I believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, died and resurrected. I believe the U.S. government lies to its people. Okay? So, I learned a lot more truth before I even believed in Jesus. See, I found the ugly before I found the light. But if you look in both directions, you'll end up, it's a circle. The truth is a circle, never ending forever. The truth is a never ending circle. More details may arise, but the truth is a never ending circle. You should always fight for the truth. Okay, there's so many restrictions in the world and prohibitions of the truth. And I'm gonna let you read into that as deep as you would like. Everybody's truth is different. Understand that. Before I get going into my work, this is not a Jew bash. This is not about Israel. The Israel will be mentioned, and Israeli people will be mentioned. But I'm not telling you to do anything, to treat anybody differently. What I told you is we're breaking the disillusionment of what the left wing and the right wing, I mean the Republicans and Democrats, two wings of the same bird. We're breaking that disillusionment. Okay? I'm showing you what was going on during the Roe v. Wade, the repeal. Okay? Because more abortions are being done today than last year. And the numbers have gone up since 2016. And before that, the numbers were going down since 1980. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay, let's start. Let's get to work. Okay, we'll get to that. But look at this. Number of clinical abortions. So this is legal, registered, documented. Okay, look at that. Roe versus Wade overturned. About doubled. About doubled from the year before. What is this? This is 2017. Donald Trump, the dictator, was the president this year. 2017. Why did abortion start going up? What was going on here? What was going on here? Okay. This, 1973, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about Margaret Sanger in a little bit. It's not about abortion. I'm trying to tell you, it's not about abortion. I'm pro-choice. Okay? I believe in Christ. I'm anti-innocent bloodshed, but I'm pro-choice. A woman has the right to choose. But look at that graph. And this is not project2025.com. This is Guttmacher Insitute. This is who's reporting and recording all these. And we're going to look deeper into Guttmacher in a minute. Why is it going back up? Let me scroll down a little bit so you can see you didn't get to see the dates. Why is that going up? 2017. Why is it going back up? Donald Trump, the dictator, became president then. Okay? This is not a pro Donald Trump video. You'll see shortly. Okay? This is summer 2022. Alright? So let me show you what was going on in the same summer of 2022. Right here we got the California Senate Bill number 107. Now, I'll give a quick reading. I'll skim through it as I did earlier, but the basis of this legislation is if you are a child in the United States, you may flee to California and seek refuge in the state of California and receive an expedited gender-affirming care. Okay, so let's read some of the wordage in here so we can see what all is protected by Mr. Senator Gavin Newsome. Keep an eye out for that. They might try Harris again, but I believe Newsome is coming to clean up the Donald Trump mess that's coming. Newsome is coming. Okay, he's going to play a big role. He's going to play a big role in this next Donald Trump administration. It's going to be basically California versus United States, and they say they'll release the Epstein list. They say they'll release the P. Diddy list. They say that Elon Musk and Vivek are going to clean up bureaucracy. You believe that? It's okay if you believe that the idiots that voted for Donald Trump believe that. But do you really think that's going to happen? Okay, they might cut a couple a couple units out of departments. They might look at some fundings a little different. They might do different, CIA and FBI is not letting anything touch anything. Okay? Bureaucracy runs America. So let's read a little bit of Mr. Gavin Newsome's Senate Bill 107. Now you're going to see why California is so important throughout this, but alright. And Weiner, they got another senator named Weiner, of course. Gender affirming care. The United States Constitution generally requires the state to give full faith and credit to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. Existing law authorizes, upon the demand made by another state, the extradition of a person charged with committing an act in a state that results in a crime in the demanding state as specified. This is the first line in it. Let me tell you what this means. I need to get my camera so I can see myself. What this means is, you live in South Carolina. You decide, I'm 10 years old. I'm going to go get my wiener cut off. You fly to California. And guess what? When your parents decide to bring some civil suit upon the doctor that cut your wee-wee off, or criminal charge them, that's this. So no other state, existing law authorizes upon the demand made by another state the extradition of a person charged with committing an act in a state that results in a crime in the demanding state, South Carolina, demanding state, use that as an example. Existing law sets forth procedures by which a person may enforce a judgment for the payment of money in child custody orders issued by the court of a state other than California. So now, existing law authorizes a California court or attorney to issue a subpoena if a foreign subpoena has been sought in the state. Existing law generally prohibits a provider of health care, a healthcare service plan, or a contractor from disclosing medical information regarding a patient, enrollee, or subscriber without first obtaining an authorization unless a specified exception applies, including that the disclosure is in response to a subpoena. Okay? That is what we call word salad, and that's what they do so that us regulars and us normies and us sheep, we just go on because I read a paragraph in about 5 minutes because what does that say other than what I told you it says? Alright. This bill would prohibit a provider of health care, a healthcare service plan, or a contractor from releasing medical information related to a person or an entity allowing a child to receive gender-affirming health care or gender-affirming mental health care in response to criminal or civil action. So, doctors are safe. Anybody who kidnapped your child and now is their guardian, safe. And just wait, there's provisions in that for there. The bill additionally would prohibit law enforcement law enforcement agencies from knowingly making or participating in the arrest or extradition of an individual pursuant to an out-of-state arrest warrant based on another state's law against providing, receiving, or allowing a child to receive gender-affirming health care or gender-affirming mental health care in the state as specified. Okay, so policemen getting immunity. These California doctors got immunity right here. They'll cut East Coast children. They're gonna go cut their weenies off in California. All right. Second provision of the legislation, existing law known as the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act provides a state exclusive jurisdictional basis for making an initial child custody determination and permits a California court to assume temporary emergency jurisdiction in specified circumstances. Existing law permits a court to decline to exercise its jurisdiction if it determines that it is an inconvenient forum and a court in another state is more appropriate forum. Okay? Provides state exclusive jurisdictional basis for making an initial child custody determination. Child's going to go over there, and then California gets to say whether you in South Carolina have custody of the child. You're going to see where I'm going with it shortly. Just follow along. This next part, it gets good. Existing law permits a California court to decline to exercise its jurisdiction if the petitioner has wrongfully taken the child. The petitioner has wrongfully taken the child from another state or engaged in similar reprehensible conduct. Decline to exercise its jurisdiction, except as specified. Existing law prohibits a court from considering the taking or retention of a child from a person who has legal custody of the child if there is evidence the taking or retention was a result of domestic violence. So they already taught the children to call child protection services. So all they had to do was say their parents were beating on them, and then this random petitioner wrongfully taking the child from another state or engaged in similar reprehensible conduct. Alright, anyway, let's keep going. The bill would prohibit the enforcement of an order based on another state's law authorizing a child to be removed from their parent or guardian based on that parent or guardian allowing their child to receive gender. So this is for the Californian children. This will keep them indoctrinated in this wicked, evil system. This will prohibit the enforcement of parents being liable for children destroying and mutilating themselves. The bill would prohibit a court from finding that it is an inconvenient forum where the law or policy of another state that may take jurisdiction limits the ability of a parent to obtain gender-affirming health care or gender-affirming mental health care as defined, and the provision of such care is at an issue in the case before the court. The bill would authorize a court to take temporary jurisdiction, that's all you need, because a child has been unable to obtain gender-affirming health care. This is the basis. This is the basis of the bill, right here. Read it. I'm going to move my face so you can read it. Move my face so you can see it. Temporary jurisdiction because a child has been unable to obtain a gender-affirming health care. They are going to tell you that you are wrong, you are treating them wrong, you are abusing them, and somehow it'll be violent, that you're not letting them get gender-affirming care. Okay? The bill would additionally prohibit a court from considering the taking or retention of a child from a person who has legal custody of the child if the taking or retention was for obtaining gender-affirming mental health care or mental health care. And then you read, and they had all this nonsense, notwithstanding subdivision section, blah, 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 blah. The person means an individual or governmental, blah, 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 blah. Section 2, Code of Civil Procedures amended to read. See, they put all this so you don't read. Okay? You might think I'm ignorant saying that. They put this so you don't read. But I just read you the synopsis of what this legislator is. If you're a child in America, it is currently legal for you to abandon home, have refuge in California, and get sex, gender reaffirming care today. That's not on the house. That's signed, sealed, delivered. That's here. Okay, so this was the same summer that abortion was going on, that Roe versus Wade repeal. Abortion is illegal in 13 states, and it's up 50% this year. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that second bill in a second. Let's go look at some abortion some more. Look at that chart. Okay? I'm going to show you. You see my mouse? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Well, you no doubt see Roe versus Wade overturned. That exact time is when that legislation got passed. And people who are woke, and people who are red pill, people who are MAGA, people who are woke and enlightened and out of the matrix, they don't know Senate Bill 107. We got more coming, please trust. This was mentioned in Senate Bill 107. I haven't looked too deep into this. It was referenced, kind of older legislation. Just using that for reference if anybody does a deeper dive. Alright. Before I continue going on too much further, I told you, this is not a anti-Israel rant. This is not an anti-Jewish rant. This is not a anti-Illuminati rant. This is not a New World Order rant. This is information. This is knowledge. This is showing you, look behind the curtain. The Wizard of Oz had no power, but he had the illusion. Okay? I told you this is not anti-Semitic. Okay? What I'm showing is just pure fact. Even more. Jewish Virtual Library. If it isn't a thing, why is this? Jews in the Biden administration. Homeland Security Ambassador. Energy Resources Ambassador. National Intelligence, Cybersecurity Ambassador. Advisor, Ambassador. CIA Director, Ambassador. COVID Advisory Board, Ambassador. White House Counsel, Ambassador. Science and Technology Advisor. National Council on Humanities, Ambassador. Secretary of Treasury, Economic Advisor. COVID Response, Gender Policy, Federal Communication Commission, Attorney General, Assistant Attorney General, Ambassador, Director of CDC. We're at the M's right now, people. Ambassador, Attorney General, Ambassador, U.S. Representative for Human Rights Council, State Department Deputy Assistant Secretary for Regional Security, Department Spokesperson, Secretary of Transportation, Health Secretary, Rachel Levine. Go look at Rachel Levine. That's a circus clown. Ambassador, Border Czar, Director of CDC, Chief of Staff. These are the biggest positions in the cabinet. These are the biggest position in the executive branch of the United States. Look how many names it are. Commissioner of the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. White House Liaison to the Jewish Community. Deputy Minister of Federal Highway Administration. Director of ATF. Special Advisor on Holocaust Issues. Why is that a cabinet position? It's a museum in almost every city. Secretary of State, Deputy Secretary of State, Ambassador, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State. This is Joe Biden, the Democratic president that's currently in office. That's his cabinet. That's the Democrats. Now, this is the current, well, I should probably pull this up first. This right here. These are the appointments to Donald Trump's forthcoming cabinet. I gotta fix this on my screen. I'm new to this stream, miss. This is Donald Trump's non-confirmed cabinet. Alright. Who's this? Okay. Yeah. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. You believe that number? Compared to this. Look at this. Pro-Israel, AIPAC. Joe Biden, $4 million. Hillary Clinton, $2.5 million. Mitch McConnell, Republican Speaker, former Speaker of the House. Chuck Schumer, $2 million. Ted Cruz, Republican. John McCain, former president, candidate. You go look at that list. What do congressmen need to do with Israel? Okay? Keep looking. But the point that's being made currently, is that Democrat, Republican, two wings of the same bird. It's sleight of hand. Just look over here while I do the real trick over here. It's faker than WWE. I don't know how in 2025 we can't go with this. The ability to share information on a dime and to, I mean, right now I'm showing what I'm referring to. Now, saying Republican, Democrat, two birds, one wing, that's a conspiracy, okay? Saying Israel funds, AIPAC funds, Democrat, Republicans, that's a conspiracy. But how? If I just showed you. You could see the links. You can go look at everything I looked at. You can go look at what this is. Look at this, the Jerusalem Post. AIPAC-backed candidates, November 7, 2 days after the election. AIPAC-backed candidates win big in U.S. elections, strengthening pro-Israel presence in Congress. 318 Zionist candidates to win so far. Read this. It's the first story they have. AIPAC endorses Wesley Bush, who won his position as House Representative in Missouri District 1. He replaced squad member. What they're saying there is, you know what, I have nothing to say about that. Missouri District 1, Cori Bush, replaced Cori Bush. Been critical previously on Israel during the Democratic primaries. AIPAC spent $8.5 million on, who is this? Have you ever heard of this? I'm sure you haven't, unless you're from Missouri District 1. Okay, so this is the beginning of that article. It's telling you AIPAC got 318 Republicans to win an election. They're just telling you that Mr. Bush, who isn't even related to the monkeys that were president, just got $8.5 million from pro-Israel for... What does Missouri District 1 feel about Israel? Can they point to it on the map? What does that need to be there? So, but you gotta think. Think in your head. Think in your heart. I think the heart's over here. I don't know. I'm not that smart. I think I'm not that smart. Wesley Bush got $8.5 million. You telling me this guy, soon to be Secretary of State, Senator of Florida, only got $109,000? Okay, yeah, so now let's look at it. Republican Jewish Coalition, 77. Think for yourself. Okay, you have to think for yourself. Of course, Bush had to let his daddy know. Thank you to our partners. You not partners. You can't tell by the Joe Biden presidency. You'll be able to tell by the forthcoming Donald Trump presidency. We are not partners with Israel. We are servants of Israel. You and I'll go deeper in another stream on how you and I are servants of them. But America, the nation, AIPAC just got 318 people in elected seats. I showed you how many pro-Israel people are within the Democratic current executive branch. Other PAC's involvement. J Street Joint. Oh, so these are also Zionist political action committees. Here you go. Gave nearly $300,000 to primarily Democratic candidates. Because you have to understand, BP is giving both candidates money. Because BP wants tax breaks on their gasoline and their production costs and all that, blah, 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 blah. You represent your donors. They're not representing their districts. That's only in this WWE, this veil that we wear over our heads. Bill Bell, how long was he mayor in Durham? What has he done for Durham? Murder capital, we're up there. Our schooling is destroyed. Mr. William versus Bell. Mr. Bell was reappointed to a second term by the United States Board of Governors. He has been an active public servant of Durham, North Carolina for 47 years. I've met him multiple times in my life. He's invited me to the city council when I was younger. He was elected to the Durham County Board of Commissioners in 1972, served for 26 years, chaired the board 12 years. Longest serving mayor of Durham, 16 years. He didn't run for a re-election. Served in the military, first lieutenant of the United States Army Signal Corps. Okay. I thought that was said William V. Bell. I thought that was a court case. And Bill Bell came up randomly because I'm born and raised in Durham. I have hold a lot of reverence for Mr. Bell. But we have to understand. Okay, let's look up Bill Bell donors. I prepared most of this, but okay, 15 grand gets you a mayorship in Durham. Okay, I understand this is who he contributed for. No, I'm sorry, I'm incorrect. These are people in positions. No, I believe I'm incorrect again. Contributed to. Forgive me. Mark Kelly, Warren for president. Bill Bell clearly is not a fan of Kamala Harris. I'm sorry, Joe Biden would have been running then. I didn't intend on getting on that side tangent. Bill Bell's been a great man. If I was presented with, see, this is showing how much he's giving. Doing this in real time. I mean, the information is there. Sometimes information takes a couple of turns, and I'm gonna leave this Bill Bell. Okay. Shouldn't have even got off on that tangent. Let's get right back to business. I showed you this abortion chart. There's no answer for, oh, sorry, that way. There's no answer for that. Why did it go up in 2017? Why is it doubling? Okay, let's keep going. Abortions, this is the Guttmacher Insitute. Number of brick and mortar abortion clinics drops as the U.S. abortion rate rises. Need policies that support providers. Okay. It's telling you June 2, 2022. Dobbs Jackson. Look at this. We'll do this quickly. States with total bans, 63 down to 0. There's 13 states that have major restrictions or some restrictions or fully illegal to have abortion in the United States. And they lost 63 clinics and got 21 back. 5% change in the amount of clinics in the world, but abortion was the problem. Okay. All states that do not completely ban abortion, but that share a border with those that do, saw increases in abortion caseloads between 2020 and 2023. And on average, these states had greater increases in out-of-state patients than other states without total bans. Some states that share a border with one or more banned states absorbed the additional patients with little or no increase in the numbers of brick-and-mortar clinics between 2020 and March 2024. Colorado, big, super hippy-dippy. Number of clinics was the same in both years, 23. That's 2020 and 2023, showing that there was 23 clinics within Colorado. The number of abortions in Colorado after Roe versus Wade was repealed rose 88%. Extra 12,000 abortions. South Carolina, 3 clinics in both years. Abortions rose 69%. Extra 3,500 dead babies. New Mexico, clinics doubled the clinics. Number of abortions rise by 256%. New Mexico, 15,000 more dead babies a year. 15,000 more a year. Kansas, increased clinic numbers increased by 50, 46. Number of abortion up 152%. 12,000 more dead babies a year. But I thought there was no Massachusetts. 6 more clinics, 26% more abortions, 4,500 more dead babies. New York, abortions up by 21%, 23,000 more dead babies. They removed 4 clinics out of Florida, 72,000 more abortions, 9% increase. North Carolina, my home, 1 less clinic, 13,000 more dead babies, 44% increase. Sorry if I trigger you with the dead baby rhetoric, I'll say. I tell you, I'm pro-choice. I'm anti-innocent bloodshed. What did I tell you? The first goal of this, remove the disillusionment of the Republican and Democratic Party. The second was to showcase the sleight of hand that was the repeal of Roe versus Wade. This isn't Republican and Democrat. This isn't black-white. This isn't young versus old. This isn't man versus woman. This isn't gay versus straight. This isn't Muslim versus Christian. This isn't Christian versus Jew. This isn't Catholic versus Protestant. This is sleight of hand. Gotcha. What they do? Senate Bill 107. Alright, let's do it. California Senate Bill 145. I'm showing you the direction we're going in this country. 09/14/2020. During COVID. Another Wiener, Senator Wiener, who voted a sex offender Wiener. Senate Bill 145, existing law. This is the current law that was held before this passed. The Sex Offender Registration Act requires a person convicted of one of certain crimes as specified to register with law enforcement as a sex offender while residing in California or while attending school or working in California as specified. A willful failure to register as required by the Act is a misdemeanor or felony depending on the underlying offense. Okay, that was existing law. This is what the bill is. This is what the bill is. Let me make sure you can read along. Make sure my fat head's out of the way. This bill would exempt from mandatory automatic registration under the Act a person convicted pedophile of certain offenses involving minors if the person is not more than 10 years old, not more than 10 years older than the minor, and if the offense is the only one requiring the person to register. That's 2 sentences. And that bill is repealing the Sex Offender Registration Act. So what is this? What is this? What it is word salad, is nonsense. It's, these idiots aren't going to read it. So I'll show you 107, 145. 107, a child may come to California, may seek refuge, may get gender affirming care, may be treated as a consenting entity. Can't even say adult. They'll call it consenting entity. 145, then, pedophiles aren't automatically pedophiles. It's case-by-case basis. Peel. Because if they come out today and they say, the Minor Attracted Persons Association of America would like to say that we love children so much and we believe that it's their, they'll tie it into the First Amendment. We believe it's their First Amendment right to be able, the freedom of consent. And then the next thing I have to show you, quick little tangent on Margaret Sanger. The next tangent is how I'm going to show you that they are going to program the 12, 13, 14, so forth, that age, to believe that they are entitled to be able to consent. Okay? I don't know if the Republicans are going to ride for it. Gavin Newsome, yeah, I know Donald Trump says that, but I agree with that sentiment. He's a scum. He's a scum of the earth. He's a devil. He's a wolf in sheep's clothes because he's going to show up to clean Donald Trump's mess. And did you not see those donors? Did you not see the cabinet picks? Do you not know that Israel, I don't know what will happen in Ukraine or Russia. I don't try to claim to know or to prophesy. I don't claim that. I don't know what will happen with China and Taiwan. I don't know why Nancy Pelosi was willing to get shot out of the sky to go sell her husband's microprocessor chips out in Taiwan. I don't know what will come with that. I don't know what will come with the P. Diddy, Jay-Z ordeal. I don't know what will come with the Drake lawsuits. I don't know if we'll ever see a single client off Epstein list. But I do know Israel is not going to stop. Israel is going to continue and continue and continue. And whether that be to the Palestinians, and whether that be to the Iranians, and whether that be to the Syrians, and whether that be to the Lebanese, so forth. They clearly show that the people that have been erected as God's chosen people are greedy and selfish. They're funding both sides of this WWE Republican Democrat nonsense that you and I will argue over, that you and I will fall out over, that you and I will hate each other or think each other be an idiot over. I think you're an idiot if you vote Kamala Harris. You think I'm an idiot I voted Donald Trump. I think we're both idiots. Because we didn't go see the wizard. We didn't see the wizard. You had to look behind, Dorothy had to look behind the curtain. The wizard wasn't this big smoke, big thing. No, he was a regular guy who had no power. These people have no power because they're not tapped into the source. They're tapped into a different source. Okay? And I'm not going down that rabbit hole today. Maybe another day. Alright, I showed you abortion's up. Okay? Pro-choice, but abortion's not an issue. Alright? Abortion's not an issue. But here's the issue about abortion. You know who created Planned Parenthood? Is Lady Margaret Sanger. Okay. Margaret Sanger. But let's see what the Jesuit review. Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist? Why are we celebrating her? I don't need to go deeper into that. Segregation for people with disabilities. Sterilization, segregation for people with disabilities. And I don't think it's writing it on here, so I'm going to have to say it. Go do your own research. Margaret Sanger was working with the KKK. They had to find a way to legally kill black babies. There's been 50 million dead black babies since Margaret Sanger erected the Planned Parenthood. That's a genocide by any means. To this day, around the world, there's been close to more abortions than there have been dead soldiers within all wars combined. That may not be true. I feel like there's a little validity. But let me show you this is the wizard. This is the wizard. This is where I'm getting to. Hope by now you can agree Republican Democrat is like John Cena versus The Rock. They go drink beers with each other after the match. Kamala Harris, Donald Trump went and turned up on the P. Diddy plane afterwards. Okay? There's a reason Donald Trump is seen all the time with Epstein and all those pictures, and he's cool with Clinton. Okay? They'll show you this much, but they really got this much. They'll show you this much. They'll show you baby oil, but they won't show you sodomy ring that's now 3, 4, 5 generations deep. Okay, you got all these aspiring rappers and R&B singers telling you that they're going to give you something, put something in your drink, put something in your weed, you're going to lose yourself, and then you're going to wake up, you're going to be getting fucked by a man, that came out. You're going to be getting raped by a man, That's the proper word. You're going to be getting raped by a man. And they're going to have the video of it. They're going to video camera it. You're going to be drunk. And they're going to be able to somehow fool you that it looks like you're enjoying it. You're being raped in reality, but on video it looks like you're drunk, enjoying gay sex. And everyone knows that pride goeth before the fall. So what do? They sign a contract. It's always a bad contract. And contracts, contractually obligated. Go look at Harry Styles' contract. That came into my mind, but look at what's going on with Drake. Contract. That's big. That's big right now. Drake suing his label because he's saying that they cheated him with the Pedophile record by Kendrick Lamar. Okay. Margaret Sanger killed 50 million black babies under the guise of women liberation, under the guise of I can't provide the baby a good life, so let's kill it. A life lived is a good life. A life lived is a good life. We break generational curses. We don't erect new ones. You don't got any grandmamas, great-grandmothers, none. They don't have abortion. They don't have infertility. But you'll pass it down. That's how generational curses work. I told you at the beginning. Conspiracy. Do you believe the government lies? Do you believe there is a God, the Creator? Even if you don't believe God is the Creator and there is a God, you know there's generational curses. Why do you think any illness that your family has, you're highly likely to have? Any mental illness that your family has had, you're highly likely to have. Generational curses. Okay? Now on my other YouTube channel, I'll probably have to do a sanctification video, because I know when people hear words like this, it hurts, because it's not just women. Men, we've hurt these women. We put them in this position to have to take the morning after pill and to have to go to Planned Parenthood. We put them in this situation. We manipulated them. We lied to them. We abused them. We took advantage of them. We went against their will and left the seed inside of them. Okay? And we left them to have all the guilt and all the shame and all the worry. Okay, so men, we are just as responsible for this, if not more. Because these women wouldn't be, if we were in their life as a father, if we were in their life as a husband, if we were in their life as a brother, they would know self-respect. They would know care, so that the first little joker that came at them couldn't get them off of their morals and their values and their self-love and their self-care. Men, we did that. Every woman you interact with, you need to stabilize. You need to care for. Don't indoctrinate these women. Don't try to get them off what they're doing. It's baby steps in this life. Rome wasn't built in a day, but day by day they built Rome. Okay? It has to be understood between men and women, because now it's currently seems to be a war between men and women. It's not man versus women. It's not man versus woman. It's not black versus white. It's not young versus old. It seems like that. It's not gay versus straight. It seems like that. The love is out here. The hate is real too. Okay, I wouldn't tell you to go blindly into the world. I would never tell you to do that. Always be cautious. Always be aware. Always be hyperactive in your mind and in your spirit. But there's good out here. There's love out here. Sure, there's confusion and there's difference of opinions and there's ideologies, which I'm telling you is programming, indoctrination. So I'm showing you where this is going. They're peeling back the legal ramifications. But, like I said, if the pedophiles, the minor attracted people, MAPS, they have to have a more convenient name. If the MAPS say, we love children too much, this is our condition, this is our love, this is our reality, this is our truth. Everybody will guise some facade behind the truth, the word truth, never the real truth. They can't do that because too many people are they'll tell you a dead pedophile does not offend twice. Now I believe love thy neighbor and love thy enemy, but I can't blame a daddy on what he does to his daughter or son's rapist. I can't blame a mother on what she do to her son's molester. But here's the wizard. Here's the wizard. The pedophiles can't come out and beg for their truth. They have to manipulate the children into begging for consent. They have to get the children to beg for consent. We all know the Pentagon. I studied film. I have a degree that hangs on my mom and dad's wall. This started in 1920. The Pentagon, the defense structure of our nation, has been funding Hollywood this whole time to push their garbage propaganda. U.S. Department of Defense push their propaganda on us, mostly with unscripted projects. Dates back to the first Academy Awards. Military participation in Hollywood dates back to the first Academy Awards. Hollywood is our government's branch of propaganda is too easy of a word. Programming is also too easy of a word, but you understand what I'm saying. If they can glamorize it through film and beautiful actresses and handsome actors and iconic scripts and iconic color designs and amazing music, and then they can get our senses, it's all sensual. You never leave a movie with any feeling other than abandonment or loss, because most times the movies won't end the way you wanted them to, or you never wanted them to end. We get entrapped in these movies. So the last two things I'm going to show. I'm showing you what's coming. I'm showing you what's coming. This is you. Now, first of all, it's already a television show about a serial killer trying to glamorize a serial killer.
You following me?
No, I was at the show.
Why? You're not funny.
I was with a friend. Listen, I have to ask. Hanging out with Henderson, you know your sister has history with him.
Oh my god. Did Delilah put you up to this? Yeah, of course I know she slept with him. He's one of 100, she's one of 1,000.
So why are you hanging out with him?
I'm not hanging out. I'm chasing an internship.
And Delilah's okay with that?
I stole Henderson's email from her contacts. Don't you dare tell her.
Ellie, you know guys like that?
Guys like what? Wait, let me guess. She called him a perv. Yeah, know who else she called that? Half the fucking cast of Sesame Street, okay? It's her go-to. And who do you think you are? Oh my god, you're so kind, you're so protective, you're like my daddy. Is that what you like to hear?
No.
Do you want to fuck me, William?
No.
No, yeah.
Never
of course
mind.
you do, of course you do. Everybody wants to fuck the 15-year-old.
At least she's precocious, all right.
This new KitchenAid dishwasher.
Okay, you may think I'm reaching. Think of what I've been saying. Do you really think I'm reaching? If they do a movie, the script's already on the table. The budget's already being worked. Let me ask you, why does every movie, besides 2 or 3 a decade, lose money? Why is Joker 2, $250 million budget, they made 90 something, 150 something within the weeks. All these movies, $200 million budgets, make $75 million. Music takes 1,250 listens to make one stream. There's no money in music, in movies anymore. Back when they cut records, there was substantial money. Back when they paid actors and actresses royalties, there was substantial money. And that's not to say they don't pay royalties to this day, but consider franchise faces. Consider what Robert Downey Jr. has to stand for. Consider what these franchise faces have to do. These embarrassing commercials. Wear their mask on the Zoom commercial. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend you to see it.
I don't think I can do this job, Tim. As soon as I lay down, all I see are those kids' faces. How long you been doing this? 12 years. How do you do it?
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's gonna pass the drug trade.
Señor Timoteo, tú rescatas niños, ¿verdad? Quizá puedas ayudarme a encontrar a mi hermana.
Imagine walking into a room right now, seeing an empty bed. What will we do?
We're Homeland Security. You know we can't go off rescuing kids in Colombia.
This job tears you to pieces. This is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
We're talking about extracting an 11-year-old girl from an army of rebels.
Not just her. I'm talking about rescuing hundreds of kids.
She could be a block down the road, or she could be in Moscow, Bangkok, LA.
Over 2 million children a year are being sucked into the deepest recesses of hell. If we do nothing, someday it's gonna reach the likes of you.
If you would like to help us expose the horrible reality of human trafficking by bringing this true powerful story to the big screen, express interest now at angel.com/freedom.
Okay. Don't be disillusioned. Don't be disappointed. Don't be discouraged. If you open 2 people's eyes, then 4 people are working towards a cause. You know how they say that you know everybody within 5 people? We can move the love that way. We can move the truth that way. I'm not selling anything. I didn't persuade you to go do a single thing. This is information. This is truth. Okay? Why believe the lie? 2 roads to conspiracy. Does the government lie to you? Is there God a creator? Either road will get you down a path. Take care of yourself. God bless.